In the tranquil village of Sarnath, nestled amidst the verdant hills and whispering pines, there lived a young man named Arjuna. He was known far and wide for his gentle nature and kind heart, yet within him a tempest raged. His mind was a tumultuous sea, tossed by waves of negative thoughts and emotions. Each day seemed heavier than the last, burdened by worries, fears, and doubts that clouded his once clear vision of life's beauty. One dusky evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in hues of crimson and gold, Arjuna found himself sitting by the tranquil lotus pond at the edge of the village. The air was thick with the fragrance of jasmine and the gentle hum of cicadas, yet his heart felt heavy, weighed down by the burdens of his mind. "Why do these negative thoughts torment me so?" Arjuna whispered to the shimmering ripples of the pond. "How can I find peace amidst this storm within?" As if in response to his plea, a figure emerged from the shadows, bathed in the soft glow of twilight. It was an old sage, his eyes twinkling with wisdom as he approached Arjuna with a serene smile. "Troubled soul, why do you let the whispers of negativity drown out the symphony of life?" the sage asked, his voice like a gentle breeze that stirred the leaves of the surrounding trees. Arjuna looked up, surprised by the sudden appearance of the wise old man. "I cannot silence the cacophony within," he confessed, his voice heavy with sorrow. "Each day my mind is besieged by doubts, fears, and worries. How can I find peace in the midst of such chaos?" The sage nodded knowingly, his gaze fixed on the shimmering surface of the lotus pond. "Within you lies a vast reservoir of peace and tranquility, yet it is obscured by the clouds of your thoughts," he said, his words carrying the weight of ages. "To calm the storm within, you must learn to still the turbulent waters of your mind." "But how?" Arjuna asked, his brow furrowed with uncertainty. The sage smiled gently and beckoned Arjuna to follow him along the moonlit path that encircled the lotus pond. With each step, the air grew lighter, and the burden on Arjuna's heart began to lift. "Listen closely, for I will tell you a tale of a young prince who, like you, sought refuge from the tempest within," the sage began, his voice weaving a tapestry of words that danced upon the evening breeze. "In a distant kingdom, nestled amidst the towering peaks of the Himalayas, there lived a young prince named Siddhartha. Blessed with wealth, power, and privilege, he wanted for nothing, yet within him a fire burned, a fire fueled by the ceaseless yearning for something more. One fateful night, as the moon cast its silvery glow upon the palace gardens, Siddhartha stole away from the opulent confines of his chambers in search of answers to the questions that haunted his restless soul. With each step he took, he left behind the trappings of his princely life, until at last he found himself standing beneath the Bodhi tree, the tree of enlightenment. For 40 days and 40 nights, Siddhartha sat in silent meditation beneath the spreading branches of the Bodhi tree, his mind a battleground where the forces of light and darkness waged an epic struggle. Temptations whispered sweet promises of power and pleasure, while doubts and fears clawed at the edges of his consciousness like ravenous beasts. Yet through it all, Siddhartha remained steadfast, his resolve as unyielding as the roots that anchored the Bodhi tree to the earth. And on the dawn of the 41st day, as the first rays of sunlight bathed the world in golden light, Siddhartha attained enlightenment, becoming the Buddha, the awakened one. As the sage finished his tale, Arjuna felt a glimmer of hope ignite within his heart. "But how can I hope to emulate the Buddha's journey?" he asked, his voice tinged with doubt. The sage laid a gentle hand upon Arjuna's shoulder, his touch like a benediction that soothed the ache within. "The path to peace is not one of grand gestures or lofty ambitions, but rather a journey of small steps taken with mindfulness and intention," he said, his words carrying the weight of truth. "Begin by observing the thoughts that arise within your mind, like a distant traveler watching clouds drift across the sky," the sage continued, his voice soft yet compelling. "Do not judge them or cling to them, but simply let them pass like leaves floating upon a river." Arjuna nodded, his heart growing lighter with each passing moment. "And what of the negative thoughts that seem to linger like shadows in the depths of my mind?" he asked, his gaze searching the sage's wise old eyes. "Meet them with compassion and understanding, for they are but wounded fragments of your soul seeking solace and healing," the sage replied, his voice filled with infinite kindness. "Embrace them as you would a lost child, and gently guide them towards the light of love and acceptance." With newfound determination burning bright within his heart, Arjuna bowed deeply to the sage, his eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, wise one, for showing me the way," he said, his voice trembling with emotion. As the sage disappeared into the gathering shadows, leaving Arjuna alone by the tranquil lotus pond, a sense of peace descended upon him like a gentle rain. And as he closed his eyes and surrendered to the stillness within, he knew that he had embarked upon a journey of transformation, a journey towards the calm and serenity that had eluded him for so long. And so, beneath the watchful gaze of the stars and the whispering leaves of the trees, Arjuna began his own quest for inner peace, knowing that with each step he took, he drew closer to the truth that lay hidden within his own heart, the truth that, like the lotus flower that blooms amidst the murky waters of the pond, peace can be found even in the darkest corners of the soul.